Hey up guys, Fiji Hunt here with a build video. I know I've not released a build video in a while, okay, with all the freezing and how ESO has been lately, PvP's not been that playable, but it does seem to be settling a little bit. The freezing has stopped now. Yes, it lags, it's ESO, it's always going to lag, but it's just one of them things. So progressing on, we're running a Stam Sorc, okay, and this is not best in slot, this is not the best build out there, okay. I'm putting out this build because people have seen me live streaming and seen my videos, and they've just asked what I'm running, okay. So this is what I'm running, okay. This is not best in slot, best build out there, okay. This is what I'm using at the moment, okay. Feel free to use whatever you want, but this is what I'm using, okay. So like I say, this is a Stam Sorc build. 2H sword and board, okay, as I find this is probably one of the better ways to use Stam Sorc other than the spin to win, okay. I have been using spin to win, but I do prefer this play style. So moving on to the gear then. So we're running Spriggans on the front bar, so we're running a Spriggans 2H Nirnhoned with a weapon enchantment. On the back bar, we're running Death's Wind, 2-piece Death's Wind for the physical resistance. Okay, reason we're doing that is when you have the Night Blades, you know, ambushing onto you, and say you're fighting a Night Blade in a 1v1. Okay, if he goes into cloak, you move straight to your back bar onto your sword and board bar, and you block the, because most of them jump out and drop an in-cap or fear an in-cap. Okay, it's good to have that extra physical resistance against them Stam Night Blades that have the potential to burst you down real easy. Okay, I am powered, okay, because I find the extra healing, as we are only using 2 hots with Dark Conversion, okay, but we're not using that as a reliable heal. Okay, we are only using 2 hots, heal over times, so I find the powered giving me the best results. Okay, so the monster set I'm using now is I'm using Bloodspawn. Okay, you can use Troll King, and then use the gold food, which is this stuff. Okay, they do roll on, they do work really well together. Okay, but I'm getting the better results with the dubious camera phone with the Bloodspawn. Okay, I'm finding that working better for me. Okay, gives me the tank ability, gives me that little bit of recovery, and also gives me that ulti regen. Okay, as a Stam Sorc, I don't have like a spammable pressure ability, so the more often I get my Dawnbreaker, the more often I can get my burst down, the more threatening my damage can be. Okay, and then my second 5-piece is Clever Alchemist. Okay, the reason I like this is it gives us health bonuses, so 2-piece health bonuses, and then all our damage is covered in this one set. Okay, what I do like about Stam Sorc is you can run 2 damage sets. You don't need to run any recovery, as Dark Conversion and Dubious just takes care of all the recovery for you. So you can run 2 damage sets, and I do recommend doing that, as Stam Sorc doesn't have a spammable and doesn't have much pressure other than dizzy and swing spam, and everyone who plays PvP will understand how hard it is to land a wrecking blow half the time with the dodge chance and people rolling around and the lag and the, you know, it's pretty hard to get that off. Okay, so I do recommend going full damage, so when you do land the burst, it's threatening and it actually hurts the enemy. Okay, so for those that don't know what Clever Alchemist does, when you drink a potion during combat, you feel a rush of energy, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 638 for 15 seconds. Okay, so this is a really good proc. So you're going to have up times on your pots anyway, because you're going to be using speed and movable pots. Okay, and when you do, you're going to get 638. You've got plenty of health, plenty of damage. So then the jewellery, we're running Spriggans jewellery, all weapon damage. Like I say, just go all out damage, best way on a Stam Sorc. You've got Dark Conversion, okay, you're completely fine for regen. So Spriggans is going to take care of our max stat, so we're going to have max stamina, weapon damage, and then it's going to give us all its penetration needed. Okay, so it's pretty much got everything you need damage wise. It's got the penetration, it's got the max stamina, and it's also got a big proc of weapon damage. Okay, so damage wise, this build does not struggle. I'm not joking you. The Dawnbreakers hit the hardest I've ever got a Dawnbreaker to hit. I've got Wardens, I've got everything. Okay, this build on a Stam's Sorc, because it has bonuses in physical damage, and I'm an Orc. Okay, the damage on this of the Dawnbreaker burst is actually insane. It's really hard, and there's not many people that can handle the damage on this. So that is the gear. Okay, we are using dubious camera and throne. I did have to just buy some, bear with me 1 second, because I did run out. Okay, so we're using dubious, which is this stuff. Okay, this increases our stamina recovery as max stamina and as max health for 2 hours. Okay, this is really good and works alongside Bloodspawn for his recoveries, and just gives us that extra bit of recovery and extra little bit of sustain. Okay, moving on to the skills then. Alright, back bar, sword and board. We're running Hurricane, Heroic Slash. Okay, this is going to be sort of our pressure spammable, as we're using 2H on the front bar and there isn't really a spammable you can use for 2H, so we're going to use the sword and board as sort of a back bar pressure spammable, as well as it's going to give us that minor heroes and granting us one ultimate every 1.5 seconds for 9 seconds. Okay, and it's also going to apply a snare, which is going to allow us to land our dizzying swings a lot more often, and also again gives them another effect. It gives them minor maim. Okay, so this ability is really strong, and I do recommend using it, as if you are using the 2H on a Stam Sorc, you don't have a spammable. A Vigor, this is going to be our heal over time. Okay, real good heal over time. Dart Deal, this is what's going to give us a heal, and it's going to help us out with the stamina. And then Bound Ornaments. Okay, this is going to give us a chunk of stamina, and also increasing our light attack damage. Okay. Not like that's a big difference, but you are light attack weaving between your skills and your ability, so it does overall stack all the damage, and it does end up being a good amount of damage. I do have the Werewolf ultimate on the back bar. Okay, that's just to run for the ulti regen, for the stamina regen. Okay, you get an extra 200 stamina regen, so that's the reason it was there. Also, this patch stamina werewolves are pretty strong. Okay, so you have got that option to go werewolf if you want to. If not, you know, you can run negate, you can run sword and board ulti, you can run whatever you like here. But I just find when you're on that back bar and you're kiting around, you know, doing some line of sight or around a tower, okay, I find the extra regen with dark conversion and heavy attacks on the back bar all just stack really nicely. Okay, so the front bar, Bound Ornaments. So we have to have this on the both bar if we want the buffs on both bars. Reverse Slice, this is going to be our Execute. Okay. Forward Momentum, this is going to be our Snare Remover. Gives us a little bit of Snare Remover immunity for 8 seconds. And also this is our Heal over time. Okay. Also gives us our Major Brutality, which gives us our weapon. Increase our weapon damage by 20% for 33 seconds. Okay, so this is our weapon damage buff. Stampede, which is our gap closer. Now, I have played about with this. You don't necessarily need a gap closer. You can run whatever you want here. Camo Hunter, another Fighters Guild ability. You know, do whatever you want with this. I just like the Stampede because I hate it when people are running away from me, or you know, I really want to close down an enemy nice and quick. That's the reason I use a Stampede. Also adds a snare. Okay. And yeah, I just find having a gap closer just useful for them annoying opponents that just keep running around like lunatics. Okay, and then Dizzy and Swing, which is our main damage. Okay, I'd like to say this is spammable, but it's not spammable because ideally you want to cast 2, 3 max of these in a row. Okay, ideally 2, because it is a long cast, it is a long channel. and by the time you've casted 2, your buffs are going to come down and you're looking at being counter burst, okay? So I really wouldn't throw any more than 2 or 3 max at any one time, okay? But this is the move that you're going to be CCing them with, hitting them nice and hard, timing it with the Dawnbreaker. And that moving on to the Dawnbreaker of Smiting, which is the ultimate on the front bar. Now this hits like an absolute truck. I don't know, like, I've never had it hitting this hard before, but I'm hitting people, and people's healths aren't moving. They're just dying. They're just hitting the floor and dying, okay? Now, a lot of people get mistaken when I say this is hitting real hard, and they say they use it, and, oh, it's not doing that much damage. Okay, you've got to take it. If people block it, you know, that's it. That's been mitigated. I'm talking about when you get that dizzy on them and they're not blocking it and there's no negate and the damage is not being negated and you hit them with that Dawnbreaker flush, you are going to finish them. Okay, this is going to hit so hard. Okay. Alright, so that is the abilities. Let's go to the champion points. As I say, every single build video, CP is a personal preference. Okay, this is what works for me. Okay, your CP might work differently for you, okay? Always run over the CP points nice and quickly, as there is no proven route for the CP, okay? There is no proven route. That's the CP. As I said, I am a werewolf, okay? And I am a orc, okay? I find orc best in slot because, as I said, we don't have a pressure move. It's hard to keep up the pressure, so I find just going all out damage on a Stam Sorc just being the best option, to be honest. Resource management you don't have to worry about because of dark conversion and dubious, so I really do find going all out damage with a Stam Sorc the best option. Okay, don't get me wrong, if you're a red guard or some, you know, another stamina race, okay, it would work, it would still work perfectly fine, but I just find that I get the better results with orc. Okay, so for the buff, so stats with just the rally. Okay, even without the proc, we've got 3-5 weapon damage. We've got 37 max stamina, which is pretty good. Okay, our crit is low, I'm aware of that, but we make up for that with the raw damage we're pushing out. Okay, we're just pushing out raw damage. I know the weapon crit is low, but okay, I really don't find the damage that much for drama because we're getting out all raw damage. Okay, as you can see, our resistances are okay, and they're not, you know, you're not necessarily really tanky, but you can take enough damage for it to not, for you not to be a glass cannon. Okay, so you got 23k on spell resistance, okay, practically 24, and then physical resistance we got, you know, practically 27k physical resistance, okay, which is really good. We've got 2.7 crit resist. As long as we're over the 2500 on the crit resist, we're good, okay, because that is what I recommend. 1-3 on the back bar stamina recovery, and we've got slightly more max stam. So with the light attack clever alchemist, we're looking at 4.7 5-2 on the weapon damage, okay, and then with just the alchemist and rally we're looking at 4.3. so as you can see, that's high, really high weapon damage, and you are not going to struggle killing anyone with that amount of damage. Okay, really not going to struggle at all. As you can see there, that's without the alchemist proc, so that's 16,586 damage, okay, and that's without the alchemist proc, so you can imagine how hard the Dawnbreakers are actually hitting. Okay, we have roughly, I think it's 27k max health, 28k I think, yeah, so we have really good health pool as well. Also, you've got to think, if we have a continuous, we're looking at 5k weapon damage, 1-5 recovery, you know, and the stats are starting to look pretty goddamn impressive, and you're going to start hitting real hard. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the Stam Sorc. I think I've covered everything. Gear, I've covered gear, covered skills, and that's it. Any questions, please comment below. If I've missed anything out, please comment below and I'll reply to the comments. Okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Thanks for all those people that are still following the channel, even though I took a bit of a break. As you know, I am in the army, so I do have to go away at times, and I do have to cut away. My apologies, but when I'm back, I do try and put out the content. So thanks for those guys that have stayed sub to me and they carry on supporting me. Thank you very much. Goodbye.